Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. This episode of the Marco Martins Revolution is brought to you by Vodcast TV, Johannesburg's premier shared podcast studio platform. If you've ever wanted to host a podcast for yourself or your business, then there's simply never been a better place to do it than right here. Visit vodcasttv.com/revolution now and get yourself a discount on your first order of a podcast or podcast series. My guest today is artist Lara Gear. We've spoken once before, and I'm so happy to have her back
Thank you so much.
The podcast.
A revolution is a fundamental and relatively sudden change in political power. An organization which occurs when the population revolts. This is the Marco Martins Revolution, powered by Vodcast TV. Visit vodcasttv.com for more.
Hi, Marco.
Hi, Lara.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, wonderful, thanks.
You seem anxious every time you come on, just like the
Yeah,
slightest bit
because
of
there's a
camera
microphone in front of my
anxiety.
face.
Right.
And 3 cameras and bright lights.
It can be intimidating.
It is.
And that's the thing.
I can tell you as
time.
a fact that it is intimidating.
Really?
Fact
Well, I do
number
it
one,
more than
it's
you,
intimidating.
and it's not intimidating for me.
Okay, well, I mean, practice makes perfect. So it's really comparing chalk to cheese here at this point.
I think I've got the largest data set, so
Yeah.
I can tell you it's not intimidating at all. So please relax.
Okay, thank you so much for telling me to calm down.
Calm down, and you'll feel better about it. Last time we spoke about relationships in the smallest way.
Yes.
We sort of glazed over it because
Yeah.
we were more speaking about creatives and how to make money as a creative and all those things. And since then, we've spoken a lot more and we've discussed other things. And we thought what's really interesting in terms of what we both experience in our lives currently is single life or the dating world.
The dating world. It's wild.
It's wild.
It's
out
wild
there,
out
isn't
there.
It? So I think let's start with dating apps, right? I think that's always a good place to start.
Right.
And I've never been on one.
I have been on one in the past. Like that's
Okay.
yeah.
And I've never been on one, but Instagram statistically and even according to research is currently a dating app. Well, or at least
Absolutely.
it's taken market share from dating apps like Tinder and
Absolutely. I mean, and it's a weird one because as someone who doesn't really go out, and when I do go out, the last thing I'm doing is trying to talk to new people because it's not something I do.
Right. We were talking about camera anxiety. That's so much worse.
So imagine like actual like people
Yeah,
who
like
respond. So it's probably unlikely unless it's at the gym. It's unlikely that I'll probably meet someone out and about, right? But I don't have dating apps right now either. So I mean, I guess I'm like not really looking to meet someone right now. But Instagram is by far, I suppose, the easiest way to access those people because they can't swipe on you. They can't like reject you instantly. Like you've got a shot. You've got a glimpse of a shot.
You know what again, this is coming completely from someone who hasn't used the dating app before. So I've never been on Tinder or anything. So
Right.
I just know.
So you are Instagram through and through.
Yeah.
That's
and
where it's
I
at
think,
for you.
I think it's because it's not a dating app. And
Yeah.
that's the idea is just that I'm on Instagram anyway. It's something I was on when I was in a relationship as well. It's something I use for my podcast. It's something I use just to share with my family and things like that. And then when you've got that added element of being able to meet people on there,
Right.
it exists. And what I always found, or I say always, what I found funny about it is there's almost more anxiety to it. You were just defending it and saying it's like you can't be instantly rejected like on a Tinder or something, right? But I think it's even more scary than that in a way, Instagram, is that someone follows you and you follow them back. And then it's like, now do they follow me?
Well, that's the thing. Like that's why it's so weird because
me?
I mean, I don't use it as a dating app. And so
No,
I've got.
don't.
Well, that's. I mean, for me, it's not a dating app. It's Instagram.
Right.
If anything, it's a business profile because that's where I get like little brand collabs and like can push my businesses and all of that. So it is not a dating app, but my gosh, it's like the men can smell that I am single recently. And
Right.
I've received like some of like the funniest DMs I've ever received. I got one the other day, which I spoke to you briefly about, and you wouldn't let me read it out to you because you cringed so hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to corner you right now and tell you about it.
I can't say no now, can I?
No, you can't. But I just want to say beforehand, like you said, it is, I suppose there is this large level of, and I suppose there's a lot more potential for rejection because, and it's going to hurt. And I can imagine that this is a tough thing. Is it a tough thing to do to slide into a girl's DMs? Like, is that a tough thing for you to do?
For me, yes, it would be to open yourself up to that.
Okay, well, that's the thing. So I just want to say, like,
for me,
before anyone like attacks me, I am aware that it is a tough thing to do, and to put yourself out there is difficult. But also, if you're going to put yourself out there in my DMs with a cheesy pickup line, you bet your ass that I am sending it to my girls group. Yeah. And we are all roasting you in my girls group.
Do you at least block out the photo and the name?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that you tried for a moment. You tried for just the slightest moment to cover yourself and be like, no, I hide their identity, not to your girls group. Don't lie.
Not to your girls group, but to anyone else.
If you were going to post it.
Absolutely.
Then you'd be like.
Yeah, if I was going to post it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I thought that's the one element of it that I think is very different to like a Tinder or anything like that, is that with Tinder you match and it's like, okay, very clearly this person is interested in me. Whether you know what their interest or their intentions are right away or not is different, but you know that this person's interested in you in some sort of romantic way. Yeah. That's the idea, that's the concept, that's everything that's going on there. Yeah. Whereas you're on Instagram, and someone will like a post, and it's like they've just liked your post.
You really read into it, don't you?
No, I'm not overly reading into it on my own. What I'm saying is just the concept of it overall. Right? Is the idea of that you can get the slightest hint, and I think it's about reading people and everything. But sometimes you don't trust your reading because you're like, I've read this wrong before.
This has been an issue for me in the past.
This is
this is not my strong point.
And you start like subtly chatting, like something subtle
like
you
a
don't
little,
like. You don't like.
Something there,
don't be a creep
there.
right away or anything.
I have to read you,
and then sometimes
you'll
just get. We'll get to your little DM there. But I think the biggest, the thing that you want least to happen to you while you're like putting yourself out there in an IG DMs or something is, oh yeah, my boyfriend does the same thing or something like that. But where they're just being nice and it's like, oh, this is going really well. It's like, oh, my boyfriend does the same thing. You're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Okay.
But also, I mean, if the girl has clearly got a boyfriend.
The thing is, it's not clearly.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to clear that up because I was about to shout at you.
No, that's stupid. No, if there's a clearly thing going on, then that's
then you leave
your
it
own,
alone.
Yeah, that's your own.
You don't touch
that's
that.
your dumb thing.
Yeah,
right?
And if you do, then you don't deserve to have them answer your DM. Which a lot of boys, I will tell you, like a few boys that I haven't, and I'm going to use the term boys because they are boys. And because men would not do this. But the boys who I don't reply to, and they've sent like a few messages, often, and I think a lot of girls will find this, often they'll then get a bit hostile.
Oh, yeah, guys do that.
You know what I mean? Why? Tell us.
Ego,
explain to us. Okay.
All of those things.
Childhood trauma.
People with low self-esteem, and it's like,
right.
Hey, beautiful. Hey, talking to themselves. Fire emoji. Wow, you look amazing today. You are the embodiment of
hot.
Hot, whatever. And then it's like, fuck you, you're a bitch anyway. Because you haven't replied.
Screw you, I don't like you anyway.
Yeah. You're too ugly to not reply to things like this.
Yeah.
No, there's been ridiculous ones. I was sent voice notes before from guys who Oh, wow. They go through the pseudo-scientific definition of, I'd actually love to clip one. But they go through this like pseudoscience of why a woman shouldn't have been with more than 3 guys in their entire life. God. And then they go in this whole thing about, and if they don't respect their dad, they can never respect you. And then it goes on this whole, and then it's like a 5-minute voice note. And it's like, oh my God.
I was like, shut up. Please shut up. Who gave you that platform?
Well, I think that's, I'm going to sound like
Gave
such an asshole. I'm so sorry. I'm looking dead into this camera and apologizing to you all. I'm so sorry. I'm going to sound like such an asshole.
Okay, but now look at me and apologize.
Very clearly a guy who has 0 game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like guy who's got the
absolutely.
The worst possible chances of being able to woo a lady.
Because they cling to any reason as to why mommy has told them they are so perfect, but the girls that
why they should be rejecting you.
Yeah.
And it's also this like pickup artist voodoo Andrew Tate kind of shit, whereas if you drop a woman's self-esteem a little bit, she'll be more desperate for your attention and your energy.
Yeah.
So if you like reject them but then give them a little bit of tape.
It's so toxic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I mean, that's based on some real psychology, I suppose, in a way, but it has to be executed so perfectly. And I think it really does. I'm just saying, like, and I think that if you're marginally attractive, you don't understand it, because I don't think you've ever needed to. I'm not talking about myself here, please. What I'm saying is, like, if you think
I mean, do you want me to tell you you're good looking?
No,
is that what you're doing?
That's not what I'm doing.
Marco, you're a very good looking man.
Thank you, Lara.
It's such a pleasure.
But I'm talking more about like celebrity good looking. And this is why all the Hollywood people are so crazy. Like I did a thing on Armie Hammer, the movie star.
Right.
Like 2-3 podcasts ago.
Right.
Talking about his like little cannibalism fetish.
His little,
so it's a little small, like I want to eat people thing.
Yeah, it's just tiny, nothing major.
And I just thought to myself, but when you're that good looking,
does it matter?
For that long a time, no wonder you like tweak over into he was probably fine. He was normal for the longest time, and then he just got so bored for how easy everything was.
Right.
These guys who send a 9 to 10, 12-minute voice note making you feel like shit about yourself, they're the opposite end of that spectrum.
Yes, because they've got to make themselves feel good, and they've got a reason with why this girl will not speak to them for longer than 2 seconds.
Exactly.
There's that whole, and I think, was it you that I was speaking to about it? Probably.
You don't speak to other people.
Yeah, 100%. You are the only person I speak to ever. It's that whole, like, oh, well, I'm such a nice guy. She said she wanted a nice guy, and now I am a nice guy, and she doesn't want me. It's like, mate, she's not attracted to you, and you don't provide in any other form other than a friendliness that you are presenting. Like, being a nice guy should be the bare minimum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, girls don't want nice guys.
We do.
Nice.
We want respectful. We want respectful guys. We want genuine nice guys, and not just nice guys because they think that's what you want.
Yes. So
there's a big difference between a show and a genuine nice guy.
A lot of the nice guy that you see out there is manipulation, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to be nice to make you feel guilty about not liking me.
Yeah.
To like guilt you into giving me something.
Yeah, I mean, they think that they're going to make you feel guilty, but really us girls are like...
It happens.
We don't
here
lose
and there.
sleep.
It happens here and there. It's why a woman will engage longer than a certain amount of time with a nice guy.
Right.
And then it will get nasty because you've engaged with them. You've been nice in return.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't say nice. You've been decent.
You've been decent. You've been like a decent human being. Yeah.
By replying to someone who's being nice to you.
And then they're like, sweet, we are getting married. Mum, I found the one.
Yeah.
She's nice to me. I'm nice to her. We're getting married.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's 1942.
If it's not, yeah, absolutely. No, there's this large entitlement around if you do the bare minimum, you should receive.
The other thing guys should do is like look at themselves and then look at the profile of the girl you're speaking to and make sure that makes sense. Like I
almost spat my water out.
You need to. I'm gonna. You know what's gonna be really hilarious is someone's gonna watch that. That's gonna probably be a clip, right? So it's not just gonna be in the full podcast.
Oh yeah.
Of me saying, look at yourself
and then
look at the person you're speaking to and make sure it makes sense. And there might be a girl I've tried to speak to who's on socials who's gonna hear that or see that and gonna be like, Follow your own advice, Mark.
Listen. You said this.
Make sure it
Do
makes
you
sense.
think that honey?
Honey. Sorry.
Sorry. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Sorry. Wow. Did you really? Oh.
Shame.
Wow.
Oh, fuck.
Nice try.
Sorry.
Okay, so there's a guy who DM'd you because he smelt the single in the water like a shark.
I don't know if it was a smelt the single in the water, but he
like a shark.
like a shark.
Right, so
Week.
he DM'd you.
He DM'd me.
Yeah. Let's hear this DM. Let's have some
And I just
context.
want it known that this is like, it's a great attempt because it's so,
If he looks like Army Hammer.
well, it's a good attempt, right? And really, it took some courage. However, there are some flaws, and had these flaws had they been ironed out before, maybe.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not, but maybe. You know what I mean?
Again, look at yourself, guy. look at who you're speaking to. Make
look
sure
at
it
me.
makes sense.
Where is it? Girls chat. I have to go into my girls chat.
Oh my goodness.
I
we're going into
turned off
girls'
my
chat.
data so that there would like be no interference. Anyway, I don't know if that's something that still happens with technology. Okay.
No.
Stunning. So he replied to, it was my dog's birthday a week ago.
Oh yeah.
She turned 1.
Yeah.
And I did an Instagram post for her so that she felt special,
Right.
as one does. And he replied this pickup line to me sharing the post to my story. So already, this pickup line has nothing to do with the story. Okay. Had it been like, you have the cutest dog in the world, I would have replied like, I know. And then there we go, having a conversation. You know what I mean? Anyway. So he says, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Oh no. Couldn't I stop you there? I don't even want to hear more. I'm embarrassed already. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Okay.
Prepare for your flight. From this DM to the best date of your life. I just want to say, like, guy,
so
if you watch this podcast, like, it's elite, but it just didn't do it for me.
It's not very good.
He goes on to say, that wasn't the end. He goes on to say, we do expect some turbulence from the amazing chemistry,
Oh no.
but we will arrive on time and to your satisfaction.
On time and to your satisfaction.
Satisfaction, sorry.
Yeah.
He says, thank you and welcome abroad.
Welcome
Aboard. Sorry,
Okay.
my reading.
Well, I mean, abroad would have worked as well.
That
kinda,
would've-
especially if he's from overseas and you're trying to get like some sort of green card stuff. Can I read it, please?
You can.
Please.
You can, absolutely.
Well, may I?
You can. Are you going to read it in a captain voice?
I'm going to read it in a captain voice, I think.
I can't wait. Sorry, I've got to go back into the girls' chat.
So what are we doing? Like a Southwest Airlines American? I don't think I can do that. Actually.
Babes,
my American accent.
do
terrible.
your
I'll just
do what
like a
works
South
for you.
African-y one.
Don't ever
Okay.
show that name.
I almost said the name to bleep it out because I thought it would be funnier, but I'm not going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Prepare for your flight from this DM to the best date of your life. We do expect some turbulence from the amazing chemistry, but we will arrive on time and to your satisfaction. Thank you and welcome aboard. That was terrible.
Oh, and I'm
nearly said
I,
his
like, part of me is upset that like he didn't end it off with like, I am the captain now. Show a bit of dominance.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm your captain now.
And I would have been
Look
like,
at me.
okay, daddy.
Look at me.
Look at me.
I am the captain now.
Exactly. And I would have been like, this guy
Yes.
knows what he wants. That's a dominant figure.
Right.
Sign me up.
Which that's one of the things is that we talk about toxic masculinity, and there's been a lot of obviously negative conversation about masculinity in general, and especially when you talk about like sexually aggressive men, even online.
Yeah.
But I think there's two factions of aggressive masculinity,
Right.
in that way.
Right.
So where you have the dominance along with safety and consent, and then the toxic masculinity
where
of
it's
dominant,
just
where
like
it's aggressive
it's
and
so
unwarranted
unacceptable.
and unacceptable.
So unacceptable. So beyond unacceptable.
And then the thing is that it almost takes away from men's capability to be masculine. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like almost doesn't give you the permission to do what you just said he should have done at the end of that. It almost removes permission for that, even in
what do
the
you
safe
mean?
environment.
What removes permission?
The idea of
The fact
toxic
that the
masculinity, that
people-
other people, that men in particular treat women
It's
so
like
badly and make them feel
it's like
unsafe.
if one kid threw a stick in the playground, now no one can throw sticks. You know what I mean? Like one kid threw a stick in the playground and hit another kid, and now they've banned sticks.
Yeah, that's a better way to word it than like, oh, one kid threw a stick and now none of us
Sorry,
can
I
throw
realized the
sticks.
first time I said it, I was like, that doesn't make sense,
like,
does it?
yeah, we used to like throw sticks in the playground, but one kid threw it at another kid instead of just randomly at a tree. Because,
Because that's where you throw them.
when were you a child? Also 1942, that's where
Yes,
all of this
I'm actually very fucking old.
throwing sticks at trees.
Yeah.
And other kids. It is more fun when you throw a stick at another kid, though.
I do it all the time as an adult.
As an adult, like at other adults or at kids?
Change it up.
Oh, yeah.
It depends what I feel
It's
on the
less
day.
fun at adults. They don't fall.
When kids fall, like if I'm watching YouTube, like I'm 1,000% watching little kids
fall.
like
Little
failing.
kids falling.
Yeah.
Mine's fat people falling. Love it. I'm going to be cancelled.
You are.
This was the last episode.
This was your last episode ever.
No, it wasn't. But they have had to remove from all the Roald Dahl books any reference to someone being fat because it's weightist. So
Have they gone back into the Roald Dahl
all of them,
books and
all of them? So like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
yeah,
they removed
like,
like Augustus
whatchamacallit,
Gloop
yeah.
is not fat anymore. He's I don't know what they changed fat to, but they removed the word fat. They don't describe him
Interesting.
as being fat. They just call him enormous. So he was fat, enormous,
They should
something,
have just.
whatever.
They should have
removed
instead
fat.
of called him FAT. They should have been like PHAT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Body
baby.
positivity.
Yes.
Fat.
And that was the one that disturbed me the most. And there's several other changes that they've made to Roald Dahl
Interesting.
to make them more
Very
palatable for
interesting.
modern audiences. Now, we were speaking before the podcast
Right.
a couple of days ago, coming up with some content ideas for the podcast itself. And I don't know if we should even talk about this. Anyway, let's just do it. I'm just going to grit my teeth and do it. You told me the worst story I've ever heard in my entire life. And it was so bad. It was so bad that, I don't know, it haunts my dreams.
It is bad.
Okay.
And
So-
I don't know. I mean, like,
So either of our parents, like if you're watching this,
mom and dad,
Turn
turn
off.
off immediately.
Yeah.
You do not get to listen to this anymore. Turn it off. My mom is still watching because mom, off.
Yeah, you don't want to. You,
You
don't want
to know
you
what
don't
your
want none
angel
of this, do we?
has experienced.
You don't want none of this. Okay.
Mom, I'm
Okay.
serious.
So go on, please.
Oh God. So we were. I mean, like you get to cringe twice now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. A while back, I was dating, right? And
Meeting people, like single
Meeting
Lara,
people.
but meeting people.
single Lala.
And she meets this really cute guy.
She meets this really cute guy, and he's funny
And
well.
funny, cute and funny. That's all you want.
Cute and funny.
But what you didn't
And he
realize
was
is that,
smart.
and you need more than that.
Well, I didn't think that I did. I didn't think that I did until I realized I did.
Cute,
But
funny,
we-
smart.
We had gone
What
on
a winner.
like 7 or 8 dates. So
Which is a good number.
like that's like a good 2 months of just like going on dates.
Yeah. And texting, like WhatsApping and stuff.
Oh no, we never know. Of course, yeah. So like texting every day, like a date a week kind of thing. I suppose like seeing them on weekends, but that didn't really count as dates because it was like with mates and like.
Yeah.
And then
By the way, guys count those.
oh, do they?
Yeah. It
Interesting.
counts as a date. Even if you're coming to meet my friends at a braai. And
That's
it's
a
not
date?
just you. Yeah.
Marco, we have to speak, babe. I think I know where you're going wrong.
Well, I'm taking girls
You're
out
taking
on
your
dates
girls to
somewhere.
braais.
I'm not taking girls anywhere. Most people who know me really
I
well and
think we
personally can
found the
attest to
crux
this is
of
that
the
I'm not doing much at all.
Okay, but so now we go on our final date, and it did not carry on after this. For you will know why. And things after our date, really lovely date, we're a bit like wind up, not terribly, but like
A little tipsy.
we're a bit
Yeah.
spicy. Seriously, Mum, if you're still watching this, get the fuck
Babe,
off.
we've given you ample time.
We've given you ample.
Mrs. Gear, please.
Okay, please. We go back to his place, right? It makes me so nervous to talk about this. Okay, so we go back to his place. Things are getting to Marco.
Okay, please go on with
Okay,
the story. So
we go back
now
to
it's
his
gotten
place.
all spicy. You
Things
two
are
are
getting
wind
spicy.
up.
The
And you end
foreplay
up
happens.
back at his house and the foreplay
The
starts.
foreplay begins.
And then
It lasts 3 minutes, the foreplay.
3 whole minutes of
And-
foreplay.
Out of 10, it was also a 3.
Okay, so we're on 2 threes. 3 minutes of foreplay, rated 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Okay, he finishes his foreplay. And I'm like, like girls, like that's many girls' favorite part is the foreplay. Many people's favorite part is the foreplay.
I think, yeah, most
Right?
women in particular.
Most
right?
women in particular
Right.
love the foreplay. And it's got to be good.
Yeah.
It has to be good.
It can't be a 3 out of 10.
It can't be a 3 out of 10. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, maybe he's going to carry on. Like, what?
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, what is going on? And then, oh, yeah. He looks at me in the eye and he is dead serious. He's not even being the funny, sweet, sexy guy that I know. He's being the serious 3 out of 10 guy that I now know. And he looks at me and goes,
Did he clear his throat like that?
no, I just have to because it's really something.
Okay, can I change the story? He actually cleared his throat. He was like,
Okay, sure.
yeah, that's the story now.
For your sake, he cleared his throat.
Okay.
Okay. Right. He goes, it's time for the main event.
Did he bite his lip?
He gave me the look, the smolder.
Yeah, the sexy smolder.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
it's time for the main event. And I'm so underwhelmed by the foreplay that I'm someone like, what I'm thinking before I know what I'm thinking because my face tells you. And I go, what's the main event? And he looks down at his member
Yeah.
and he goes, and he does the smolder all the way up and he looks at me in the eyes and he goes,
Did he just nod?
he's just like nodding. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we're a bit wind up. Maybe the main event, maybe that's where it's at. Let me give this gorgeous, good-looking, funny, sweet guy a chance.
The benefit of the doubt.
The benefit of a doubt. I'm a saint. I'm so forgiving. I'm understanding.
But now why is it the main event? So he's calling his penis the main event.
And the worst part is the fact that he is confident enough to call it that. Like some girl somewhere has lied to him
about his
abilities.
Just stop me when it's
No, I'm not gonna play. I'm not playing that game. But he says, it's time
okay.
for the
So
main
it's
event.
also underwhelming in size and aesthetic in general.
No, we're not going to talk about that. It was good.
Okay,
It was fine.
was it fine?
It was fine.
Okay, so there's the main event.
Average.
Hence why.
I wouldn't have called it the main event.
All right, like a
Anyway,
starter maybe.
so the main event happens.
You're still thinking, where's my appetizers?
I'm still thinking like,
Yeah.
what happened? Why can't we go back?
Yeah.
Let's Is it?
You sure?
Is there cameras? Am I on pranked?
Ashton.
Ashton, come on, baby. I'm so excited.
Ashton, wait.
So he says, anyway, this whole thing happens. The main event itself lasts 3 minutes. Okay. Which, you know what? It's not a big deal. Okay. I've heard a very clever remark recently that says it's not about the size of the rod. It's about how you wiggle the worm.
Yeah.
Okay. And fabulous. If you can get things done in 3 minutes, amazing. But if you're not getting it done in 3 minutes, my guy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you wasting my time?
Yeah.
Okay. I could have done a lot more in 3 minutes for myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this happens. It ends.
Yeah.
He then
I can't believe there's more to this
lies
story.
down next to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, kind of like, oh, okay, that's great. We're done. Okay. He pulls my arm over. He's now the baby spoon.
He's not small spoon.
And he kisses my hand and he goes, that was so good. Thank you.
I want to cry.
I wanted to cry.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
That's a horrible experience.
That was a horrible
I'm
experience.
so sorry. I apologize on behalf of my gender. I don't know.
No, I don't. Well, I really think that a girl somewhere has lied to him about how talented he is in that aspect.
Right.
Or maybe it's an Army Hammer thing where he's so good looking, he doesn't have to be good anywhere else. But tricks on him because he does. He does have to be good.
Yeah. Or at least better.
Or better. Just
Like
be better.
of marginal quality, especially
out
when
of
it's
10.
called a main event, right?
Especially, I think, had he said, welcome to the sideshow.
Are you ready for something probably relatively underwhelming?
There we go.
There you
I would
go.
have been like,
There's-
my guy, you described
yes.
it perfectly.
Thank you.
Thank you for being honest.
At least I'll have a laugh.
Exactly.
You know? Right. That's a horrible story. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It is what it is.
Okay, so this is before. Is this like soon after a relationship or just before another relationship?
It was like
or-
just before another
or
relationship.
just before a relationship. I think these are the sort of things, and you hear it from so many people, is a horrible experience like this, and you're like, I'm going to stop fucking around. Like,
Yeah.
I got to stop.
Like,
I
please.
got to stop my shit. I already got to stop my shit and just
gotta stop my
find
shit.
someone good
Yeah.
and just settle down and whatever,
Just-
because this is just
gotta
horrible.
I've got to start bettering my life.
Yeah, right. I think the only experience worse than one of those, like the one that like pushes you into your next relationship, because
Yeah.
that's really what it does, right? Is you have this
Well,
horrible thing
I
and
mean,
it pushes you into
yeah.
a relationship with
I
someone
don't know
else.
if that was the reason I got pushed into a relationship. He just set the bar so low that the
Right.
next thing was like,
Yeah.
I mean, this was a while ago. Yeah.
Okay, so
This was a while
two
ago,
things.
so I
Please
almost feel like
pull the
my-
microphone closer to your mouth.
Just kidding.
That was good. That was funny. So I think the one thing is that awkward, nervous, horrible monkey off your back first time after a long relationship.
Well, it was the first time sleeping with someone else after a previously long relationship, but it had been like a few months
Oh, okay.
in between that.
But still though, because now it's like your first
Yeah,
sexual,
like first-
full-on sexual
yeah,
experience
since, like, having a long
having a
relationship.
long
Yeah, and, like,
relationship.
it's been a
I mean,
while,
a long
and, like-
relationship, like even if your sex life like dips through the relationship or whatever, it's never really that bad because you know each other, you have experience with each other, you
Yeah,
have
and you
chemistry,
can
you
kind
have
of
a
like be
relationship,
more
whatever,
honest.
right?
Like
Yes.
I couldn't tell this guy like
No, not good enough. Please,
good
buddy,
enough.
come on. Lift
I
up
mean
your
maybe
game.
I could have.
You know what
But
we
I don't know if
should?
that would have been acceptable.
You're doing a disservice to other women but you're not, because you. So in saying that, like just letting things go and being like, is enough for a man who needs to be conscious of what he's doing
Right,
to adjust.
Like red flags.
Yes, but as you said, some woman lied to him before and said that was amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is the best. Whatever.
Yeah.
That is the disservice. You're doing a disservice to the other woman who
Yeah,
have to
and
deal
I
with
bet
it.
the reason that they ended things, I don't know if maybe they didn't end things. Maybe they were like just themselves sexually underwhelming. You know what I mean? Maybe it was two sexually underwhelming people having a nice time.
Although, if you hear quite a lot of stories, particularly from women, sexual dissatisfaction is extremely common, right? So women will have several sexual partners that they're dissatisfied with all of them.
Okay.
You know, in general, a generalization, and it's
suppose so,
something
yeah.
you might get in your little girl
in
group
our-
there. How was it? Not very good, Lara.
Not very
Thank you
good,
for fucking asking,
ma'am.
but
I'm at home with my vibrator right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm finishing the job. Right.
just get me all riled up for nothing. You know? It's like, I don't even think I'm even going to use it. You get home, you're like, I'm dying for that. And by the time you get home, you're like,
By the
you know
time
what?
you're like,
I just want ice cream.
I just want ice cream and to
a
hug my
shower.
dog and a shower and to watch Gilmore Girls. That's all
No
I
one
want.
ever wants that ever, by the way.
I do.
No
Are
one
you
wants to
kidding me?
watch Gilmore Girls.
I watch it every night. Is that a red flag? It's probably a red flag.
It's just not very good.
No, but
that's
it is
the
very
thing.
good.
It's
It
a
is
sign of your
it's
lack of
so
taste.
Comfortable. Hang on.
Hang on. Rude.
Wait. I knew
little
that this
rude.
guy was a 3 out of 10. Therefore, my taste is quite high.
I don't
Okay.
know. I was sort of on his side now that you watch Gilmore Girls every night. I am joking. I've never even actually watched Gilmore Girls properly.
Exactly.
I don't even know if it's any good or
It
not.
is really
I just
good.
love all the memes
It's
and
really
gags about
funny.
it from like Family Guy.
That's so good. So these are actually going to be... Let's chat about these because this could be an educational podcast.
Ugh.
We're about to educate the masses about what is red flaggy.
Ugh.
We're going to do smash or pass.
Smash or pass. Smash or pass.
Okay, and I'm going to say they're
Yes.
a 10 because for you it would be chicks. So
Yes.
same thing.
Okay. They're a 10. That sounds so woke. Just,
It is woke.
Just make it she's a 10 for me.
She's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She's a 10, but she's immature. Is that a thing?
I mean, immature and annoying versus immature in general, yes, it's a thing.
Okay,
So, like, if you're immature and annoying, that's fucking horrible. And there's nothing worse than being on a date with an annoying girl.
Yeah.
Nothing worse.
Yeah. That's fair. Because they're immature.
Yeah.
They don't have
so,
my developed sense of humor.
Oh, well, slow down.
It is what it is. The facts are the facts.
Calm down.
I'm
there.
just stating the facts.
Right.
Right.
So, yes, annoying immature is horrible.
Okay.
With a whiny voice. Ugh.
All right. She's a 10, but she's a stage 5 clinger.
I'm all for that.
Are you? Needy.
down.
They
Let's
are
go.
needy.
Let's
Really?
go. I'm a sort of
Why?
a clingy person. If you're super, like,
Are you a clingy person?
yeah.
Do you like imprint on them?
Oh, fuck. I lose it. Like, I go
You're
crazy. Like, when
you're
you
like
got
at their
one-
window with like your eye twitching.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
That's exactly what I do.
I was wondering if that was you the other night.
I mean, no, but honestly, like, I think I can be a little over the top if it's someone that's like really,
Like-
if they're able, if something about them gets their hooks in you,
Gets you?
right? And it's those intangibles. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, there's sometimes you'll have a connection with a person and it's not necessarily tangible. And if you reflect on it and you find the tangible realities
Mm-hmm.
along with that, then that's something really special. You sort of want to see that person all the time and always be
Yeah.
holding their hand and always be like touching their
yeah.
leg or whatever. And
Yeah.
that's super clingy. But I'm for it, but in the right scenario.
Okay, well, what about clingy in terms of like needs your love and affection like all the time? Like you want some you time and this person's like, it's me time.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, with age, all of these things become easier to handle, right? Is that
That's a fact.
you become more self-aware or self-protective of these sort of things. So it's like, I'm not going to feel guilty about the position you're in. I think that's the thing,
Right.
is when someone tries to make you
Okay.
feel guilty. So it's like,
Right.
hey, I want to need attention from you right now. And it's like,
Right.
I'm not going to give it to you. Those scenarios. And it's like, if it's going to ruin the relationship, then so be it or whatever.
Okay.
But like, if someone needs love and affection from you and you don't provide it, then you need to end your relationship,
Yeah.
right? Or you need to provide that. But it depends. If it's used as a tool for guilt,
Yeah.
you need to be aware that it's being used as a tool for guilt and
Absolutely.
then dismiss it.
Absolutely. Definitely. Okay.
That was very educational.
That was so educational. Wow. I feel educated. She's a 10, but she calls you daddy.
That's a good one. That's a good one because it's creepy.
And it's also time and place. Right?
Yes, but it's creepy. So it's funny, like in my short yet colorful life, I've been lucky enough to engage with a fair number of attractive women.
Okay. Good for you.
Conversationally, at least, is what I'm getting at.
I'm sorry.
And having spoken to,
You're the guy in their DM
as
setting
you
the
should
fire thing.
As you should well apologize and give your sympathy. Thank you. But let me throw things around first. The daddy thing I've come to learn obviously is more. It's supposed to be a term of endearment in a way, and at first I thought it was a thing that guys liked to be called, and then women use that because they think, oh, this is what guys like. Because I think there are guys who like the daddy thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought that just translated to women like doing it because they think that's what guys like. And that's a pet peeve of mine. If I can sense that you're doing something because you think
that's what it
it's
is?
something that and so that's already the first throw with it. Second of all, the daddy thing is creepy and gross. It really is creepy and gross.
Favorite thing to do is if one of my guy friends are like being protective over me or like tell me what to do, or better, if I'm driving and they like backseats driver, my favorite thing, if they offer me advice, I'm like, okay, daddy, like just because it makes them like
uncomfortable,
go,
right?
Why did you do that?
Okay,
so I love using it as like a
and that's funny. So, but I think it also has. I think that really where it comes from, like I said initially, I thought it was just women trying to make men happy. And I've since come to believe or learn or whatever, however you might describe it, that it's the idea of a father's protective energy and dominance. I think it is. It's not necessarily the father. It's the idea of someone being dominant, but in a safe and protective way.
I'm going to remove the father aspect out of that for you straight away. Because that's some issues. If a girl's calling you daddy because she's like, yeah, you're like,
no, I don't.
Like,
you see, now it's not. I'm not talking about their specific father or an actual paternal.
Rather, like it's sure a dumb thing. Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
So it's the idea of it just being like, oh yes, you're a man, versus daddy. It's more playful, but it's also got a protective thing. I'm not going to enjoy that, but it's please go on.
The point.
But anyway, I've come to sympathize with it more and find it slightly less creepy, but it's not really something I enjoy.
Okay. This one's a good one. And actually, this is a good topic as well.
Please go on.
She's a 10, but he doesn't argue back.
Yeah, so it's not... I don't think the she one, because I don't think there's a guy who wants a girl who fucking argues back.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we don't want.
You want.
What you need to learn about men is that we don't have any energy left. We don't have any energy left by the time.
Why?
Because
I'm ready to argue.
Our lives
Let's
are hectic.
So are women's lives.
I agree, but you guys handle it differently. We're tired. We're tired because we've supported one football team from when we were 12 years old. And we fucking
and we're exhausted.
Go through.
We can't
my emotions
do anything.
are exhausted. My emotions are finished. The past 7 years as a Man United fan have been horrific, and I'm still not coping. And then you throw COVID on top of that, and I've got no energy left. So if you're gonna argue back, I'm tired. I'm too tired for it.
Wow.
I can't.
Wow.
I left everything on that field. On a field I wasn't even on. That's the thing.
Tiny violin. Tiny little violin for you.
But I get it for women, because women don't want a fucking nice guy. They don't.
We do.
No, we want a respectful guy.
No, we do want a nice guy.
Until that door is
closed. We want a kind guy. Absolutely, we want a kind guy. But, and this is something that I have learned, and I might just blow your mind. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Probably not. There is a difference. And for the longest time, I thought arguing meant having a screaming match. Right? I was like, I don't want to argue with something, because my mind related that to screaming at each other and being ugly to each other. No. Don't look at me like that.
I'm just listening.
No, but you also look at you doing the thing.
Because I want to interrupt you, but I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
Go on, please.
Thank you so much.
Please finish.
Thanks, Daddy. Okay, no, but there's a massive difference between being disrespectful and having an argument where you are screaming at each other, because that's not a productive argument. That's not going to get you, if anything, it's going to make you guys feel shit. But an argument where you might just like respectfully put your points across and respectfully communicate and have that disagreement, like you might be a bit snappy, but you're not like screaming at each other and having an argument in an unhealthy way.
Okay, so you're talking about, first of all,
like basic
respectful debate versus disrespectful arguments. Also, we've strayed so far from the comedy of that fucking he's a 10 but won't argue back with you. Is the idea is picture scenario, like video scenario. It's like, you always order something shitty to eat. And then he's like,
No,
okay.
well, that's a petty.
Do you
No, but
not-
that's a petty
But this
argument.
is where the joke
Because
because the joke is that you always order something shitty to eat. Yeah, well, you're a whore. And then you start making out. That's why it's funny.
That's so stressful.
But that's why it's funny.
Okay.
You see, it's funny is because he's like, yeah, well, you're a whore.
Are you?
And then you make out.
Sorry, Marco
So that's why it's
Martins.
funny.
Sorry, Marco.
Yes,
Are you mansplaining that to me right now?
I am. That's exactly what I just did. Some of those are kind of funny.
Some of them are kind of funny.
I kind of like the arguing one. That's really funny. Because it's like toxic, but fun.
Yeah. I guess. You want to fight?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how hard it is to impress Lara Gear.
Oh my God, you are
The worst.
the worst.
And subsequently the best. And so is my audience. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Marco Martins Revolution. Lara Gear, thank you for joining me here today. You're so welcome. If you have ever wanted to host a podcast that sounds a little bit like this one, hopefully your content is a little bit different, be sure to visit podcasttv.com/revolution now and get yourself a discount on your first order of a podcast or podcast series. For me, for now, it's goodbye.